Okay, there was a question on the homework for Module 5, question 5, which had to do with pricing a zero coupon bond. So here's the question down here. What is the annual implied interest of a 5-year zero coupon bond using a semi-annual pricing convention with a yield to maturity of 10 and a par value of 1,000? Okay. So we do this. I want to just quickly review the material in your book chapter about zero coupon bonds, right? So a zero coupon bond is a bond that you buy that does not have any interest payments, and so all you're doing is purchasing the future value of whatever the par value of the bond is. And the way that zero coupon bonds make sense as an investment is that the increase in the value of the bond itself over time provides an appropriate rate of return for the investors. And so the question is, how do we price them? And so, as your book says, you use a semi-annual pricing formula and calculate the present value of the par value, right? Which would be a lump sum payment. So for our example here, right, at the beginning, at the time of issue, for our example in the homework, we've got a zero coupon bond. So my example is probably different numbers than yours. We've got a future value of $1,000, right? We have got, here, let's make that a different color. We have got a yield to maturity of 10%, but it's semi-annual, right? So that's 5%. And we have got, it's a 5-year bond, but again, because it's semi-annual, we're getting 5% every half year, so it's 10 periods. The payment is 0, and the type is 0. And so then all we have to do is just calculate the present value, and that gives us the value of that bond at the time of issue, okay? So at the time of issue, it is $613.91. And remember, our future value and present value have to be opposite. So we would have to pay $613.91 at the time of issue to get this future value of 1,000. Okay, that's easy. Let's continue then with this information, right? So you price out a zero coupon bond just as a single lump sum payment, discounted at the rate of the yield to maturity. Okay. But the thing is that the interest that is accumulated, right? So let's think about this, right? If we bought that thing for $613 and we sold it in 5 years for 1,000, then the implied interest would be 1,000. Well, you know what? Let's set up Excel to do it right. Would be 1,000 minus, or in this case it's plus because it's plus a negative. Would be $386, right? So that's our profit on the bond. Well, that's nice, right? Thing is that even though you don't actually get that money until the end of the time period, you have to pay taxes on it as it's accruing. So you need to amortize the bond. And amortization is basically, it's a way of knocking off the value of something. It's kind of like depreciation, except for non-physical assets. So, right, so because it's taxed, every year you need to figure out how much interest has accrued to you every year. So your question is, what's the first year's implied interest on the zero coupon bond? And as we continue scrolling down through here, right, the change in price each period is the implied or earned interest, but it doesn't pay out until maturity. So you have to amortize it each period, right? So you have to figure out how much interest has accrued to you each year. It's going to be 386 altogether at the end of the day for this example. But in that first year, you have to figure out the difference in the price of the bond from one year to the next. Right? So, at the time of issue, the present value was $613.91. Now let's go ahead and copy this whole thing, right? After 1 year, make my columns a little wider. Okay, so we're still discounting at 5% per period, or 10% total, but now we've only got 8 periods left. The future value is still 1,000, but now, right, the price is 676. So the difference, let's add a line in here. So the difference is, not sure how the signs are going to work, $62.93. Right. So let's cross our fingers and put that in there. And check it. And it's correct. Okay, so you just keep doing that year over year. You wouldn't believe how nervous I was when I went to check that. Did I mention that bond pricing was my least favorite thing in my MBA program? Okay, so that's how that works. Have at it.